the C298 wireless IP camera from a ZOSI Tech, or ZOSI Tech, however you want to pronounce that. So let's install this camera. So what we've got is a QR code in the manual, and then what we do is we scan it with our phone. We go through to the app called ZOSI Smart. So the one we want to scan is the Android. So that's that one, because I've got Android, and there is also an Apple one and a PC installation as well. So let's go through to that. So there's the app that we want to download. So let's install that. So just before we open the app and set that up and create an account and everything, I wanted to show you that this camera's got 2 camera lenses on it. What? And over here, this one is called a bullet camera lens. So that's that one, and that's the fixed camera over there. And then you've got this one which can tilt and pan, and that's the pan and tilt camera. And it's got infrared and everything like that, and then it's got the wireless antenna over here. It's also got the power cable here, and also the waterproofing and that and everything here. And this is quite interesting. It's got a RJ45 connector, which is for a network cable. So I've got a network cable here, so you can see plugs in there. So I think this, I will check, goes into recording devices, so you can use it like a CCTV camera and it will record to hard drives and things like that. So that's what that is. So I'll have a look at that and research some of that some more as we go into the video, but for now let's go into the app and get that installed. So we open up the app and you can see you're presented with a register or login. So we want to register, and it asks you what country you are. So we are in United Kingdom, so that's there. Data storage, put in your email, get a code, and the code would be sent to me in my email. Then I can verify that. So I've got a minute, so let's do that. So I put the code in, and now it's asking me for a password, so I'll do that. So I entered my password, then it took me through to here after it created the account, and then we can log in. So that should take us in, and it says Bluetooth. We don't want to remember the password there. So yes, we want to give Bluetooth permission while using the app. So we'll do that. Also, it needs to allow other permissions. We can do that. So this is the app now. We can see it's got some menus at the bottom, and over here we've got nothing at the top. So we need to plug in the camera, and then we can set everything up. So the plug's provided. Here's the cable. We'll plug that in. You can see the lights flickered over there. We've triggered something. So let's see if that comes on there. We've got some lights over here on the top. So we've got a red and a blue light, sort of like a police car, which is quite cool. So there we go. Oh, the camera's initializing. You can see it's turning around.
Device is waiting to connect.
Okay, so it's waiting to connect, and it's doing its turny thing and initializing and whatever. So we'll just let that do its thing. And then what we can do is click on the plus over here, add a camera, and then it will ask to scan the code. Now there is a code on the side of the camera, so hopefully that picks it up. There we go. So now that's registering, and it should pick it up. So there we go. So configure the device, plug in your ZOSI camera into a power outlet, which we've done. You will hear the device waiting to connect, which we hear. So we heard that, so we're clicking on that, and we click next. Yes, while using the app, and then it's asking to connect to a network. So this device does not support 5G network, so 2.4, so you need to connect to a 2.4 network. So I'm going to do that now, and then we'll continue. So it's now picked up the camera's temporary Wi-Fi, so we want to connect to that, so the phone can connect to that, and then we can initialize everything from there. So now we're connected. There we go. So that's good. So now it's adding the device. We can see the device is reporting to the server.
Wireless connecting, please wait.
Okay, and then connecting and adding the device. So we'll just let that run. And once that's done, we can carry on. So there we go. So now it's added. It's got a name over here, so we can change that, and we can call it ZOSI Cam. So there we go. So that's the camera we're going to do. It's got a signal detection there. So there it is, the C298 model. You can see the lights flashing over here, so it's doing its thing. Here's the dashboard. So we've got the camera here. It says it's online. We've got our menus at the bottom, so any messages, which would be the detection on the dates that occur. You've got media, which would obviously show the screenshots and the videos that are recorded, and then there's the shop where you can obviously buy the cameras and everything else that you want to do. There's a cloud option here, so here you can take out a cloud service. We've got an SD card in here with a 128 gig SD card, so we're going to use that to store the videos. You can change your settings, so if we click on play, so over here it says create device password to improve the security. So that's quite cool. So you can give it a password to access the camera, so there's even more security layered onto the side. We'll do that now. So I've created the password, and over here it says a gesture with a zoom timeline, so you can zoom in and out of the timeline. So that's quite nice. You can see what's happening and everything like that. So today we can see this is what's happened. So there's nothing that's happened on there because we don't have any video recorded. And then we've got our settings over here. So if we click on that, we can see this is the camera that we have. You've got your password. You can share the device. So if you have someone that's got an account with the ZOSI Cam app, you can share the device with them. Message settings, so this would be for messages to come through. Your motion detection, so now this is asking for that password that I just put in. So I entered the password and then the menus expanded a bit, so it gives you a few more menu options. But if we go into the camera here, we can see the SD card that's inserted. We can format that, so that's ready to go. So that's how you format the SD card that you insert into the camera. So that's over there. And then sharing a device, like I said, you can share it with someone else. Then message settings, so you can alert with push notifications. So we want to put that on because we want to test that. So we want to allow that for the app. So that's there. So that's on. Message push interval 1 minute. Alert event type. So what types do we want? So these are all the different detections this camera can pick up. So we want to do all of them. So that's fine. And then we'll go back. Smart alert. So this one here is a light and a siren, so you can set that off if you want. Motion detection, so you can do that. Smart alert, which is the one we just looked at there. Mobile and smart alert, so you'll get it on your phone. And then you've got your sound volume as well, which will come through. Then we've got dual lens. So the dual lenses is there, so we can do that. We can switch on both. And link tracking, so when you open it, the ball will track the detected human shape. So the ball camera, this one will follow, which is quite nice. So that I like. Privacy mask settings. So here the camera is now on, so you can see this is the room. There's the light I've got. There's my hands. There's another light over there. So you can create an area over there as a privacy area, which is quite cool. So let's say this camera is mounted outside and you don't want to view the neighbor's front door as an example, because they don't want you to film that side. So you can create a privacy view. You can delete it. You can create another one, you can create a few if you want. So you can block out areas that will not be recorded in the video. So that's quite a cool little feature there. Then we go back, we've got night vision mode. So we've got color night vision, so that's nice. The lights would come on, the LEDs, you've got black and white as well. And you've got smart night vision. So we'll leave it on that so it will switch and do its own thing, because it is powered, it's not going to run out of battery. So that's there. Time settings, we've got GMT 0, so that's fine. You can synchronize with the phone, so I'll do that, so it's got the exact time and date. And then we've got the network that we're connected to, our Wi-Fi signal, so we can see, we can do a detection and see how strong the signal is when we're outside. And then we've got a mirror image, so we can change the image to flip it upside down, left and right, things like that, or mirror the image to see what it looks like. So that's quite a cool feature as well. Recording mode, so we want motion recording, full-time recording. HD mode, smooth mode is more for networks that have a not as stable network outside as you would inside. HD mode, so you've got high resolution. Full-time recording, it will just keep recording and overwriting, so it does use the SD card quite a lot. Indicator light, so we've got our lights over here. We've got our outdoor mode. You can store in the cloud if you want. Device transfer, so this looks like you can transfer your device to another account, because obviously it's on this account, but you can transfer it to someone else, which is quite good. You can reboot the device and then you can remove the device. But let's see what the screen looks like. So we've got zoom in, so this is the bullet camera, which is this one. And if I zoom in, that's really cool. Wow, that's very clear. And then this camera seems to follow where I am, pick me up. So let's move that dot there. That's cool. So this bullet camera, you move here, and then this camera moves to where you want it to go. That's an awesome feature. Really cool. Really like that. That is awesome. How cool is that? So we've got microphone, we can talk. We've got image here to take a screenshot, so we can take a screenshot. So that's there. We can record. So now we're recording and it can hear my voice. It's coming through on the phone. There we go. Then we've got the light and the siren. And then we've got here, tracking is currently enabled. There were conflicts when using the gimbal control. So you can move it on your own like I am now, and it will do its moving where you want it to move. Up, down, left, right. That's controlled over here. So that's very cool. And then you've got playback, so view video playback, and then it will show you the timeline. And earlier, like they said, you can pinch and zoom like so, or you can use the little toggle on the right to zoom in and out. We're using the SD card, which is here. You can use cloud if you want, and then we can go back, and that's the screen over there. So this is cool, and there it shows you the indicator. There's the bullet cam, and there's the ball camera that's there. So wherever this dot goes, it will follow, and then you can zoom in on that. So I wonder if this, oh, they can both zoom. That's cool. So let me set it up outside and see what it looks like. So here's the RJ45 cable. I want to plug it in and see. It is plugged into a router. So there we go. It's got the activity on it. Bullet cam comes with an adjustable toggle on the side here. So you've got this little metal piece they give you, and if you look at the lens in there, you see it's at the bottom of that oval shape there. Now if I turn this, see the lens how it moves up and down. So you can adjust that one once it's in place to where you want that bullet cam to face. And then also on the side over here, you can see when you mount it, this bracket here can either mount from a wall or a roof or ceiling or whatever you want, or an eave of a house. So that would sit here. And then this piece here would slide on and off. So you can slide the camera on and off like so. But on over here, they've got a small little hole, and they've included a small little screw. So that little screw can go in there, you can tighten that, and then the camera is secure on this little bracket, so it won't fall off. The new option I wanted to show you is this intelligent algorithm. Now if you go into this, you can see how many different options there are that you can opt into and use. You can see a lot of them are unused because I haven't activated them. But for motion detection, if you go into that, you can see motion detection is enabled. You have a detection area. Now, what I like about this area here is it's got a grid. So you can actually draw what you want. So if I take that off and I just do this, it will fill in that area like that, or you can draw a thin line like so, things like that. So you can draw multiple detection areas. So on the top of the wall and things like that. So I do like this way of placing a detection area, and then you can, you know, erase it and things like that. So you can rub out a few. So it's really cool. You can select the whole area, you can remove it and everything like that, or you can go full screen and then be more accurate. So that's really cool. And then we've got motion detection settings, sensitivity. So we've got low, medium, high and max. I've got mine on low, and it is picking up quite a bit of movement, but it is windy. And then we can go to human detection. So we can say enable human shape, yes. People faces, cars, so that's all here. And what area? I've selected the whole area, so that's there. Human tracking, yes. And then it also talks about what it is, so it's nice, it explains what each one is at the bottom as well. And then we've got intrusion detection, so I've enabled that. We've got the sound, so over here, all those little sounds that you see, this is where you set it up. So I've called one punk, I've called one brain, and called one home alone. And you can say add a custom sound. It brings up this little window here, you press it, and then you hold it down for 15 seconds and record whatever sound you want for it to play. And once you're done, you just enable it by ticking the box next to it, and then once it saves that, that will be the sound that will play when you go past. So next time I go, it will play that one, or you can have these preset ones, or you can just have it on mute. You've also got your map area, so again you can have a full detection area, or you can just select the gate area as an example. Area departure detection, again you can select this, you can draw an area where you want something to show if someone's leaving, or a gate or something like that. Abnormal sound detection, so that's quite cool with an anomaly sound. So you can switch this on. I did try it, and if there was like weird sounds outside, it can trigger the camera. So if there's loud bang or things like that, maybe there's an accident that took place, and the camera can then get triggered and start recording. So that's quite a cool feature. Vehicle detection, you can also scan an area for vehicles. We've got absence detection, so if there should be movement in a certain area, then it will show that, and when there's no movement, then it will trigger and send you a message. So that's quite a cool feature which some cameras don't have. Entry and exit detection, again you can have an area where you want people to move in and out of, so it will show here object enters the reference line. After it's turned on, the specific voice will be prompted. So again, you've got different voices, you've got an enter and a leave, so it's sort of like people walking in and out. It will play different sounds, so that's good. And then you've got loitering, so if someone's hanging around or wandering around, I did enable this, and it was showing the message came through saying that for me. So that's all the intelligent algorithm stuff. A lot of features. There's a lot of menu options. It's a little complicated compared to some of the other cameras I've reviewed, but there's so many options, which is great. So you've got full control I like the security, the firmware updates as well. And let's get into the viewing of what the camera looks like set up and everything, and you can see some of the footage. Set up the camera outside, and just for
Get off my property, punk.
and that's my customized little message that I put in. So this is the camera set up on the wall. Here's the cable that runs through. I've just run it through the window like this just for this testing and demo, and you can see how it's installed sideways. We've got the antenna facing up, we've got the bullet cam LEDs on, we've got the ball camera LEDs on. They're really bright, so that's picking me up. That's how it looks. There's the infrared triggering, so that's what it looks like when the lights go off. So the infrared is now on, so that's all good and working. The power's working, everything's there. And then what I'll do now is do some tests and see what the footage looks like. There, the LED's on. And this is the light over here from both cameras that are on now. So nice and bright, and let's see how it all goes. Cool about this camera is that it allows you to do custom sounds or voices and that, so you can record your own. So what I did was I recorded this one, so let's have a listen when it picks me up.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good Easter off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
That's pretty cool. So you got 15 seconds and then it's going again.
To get your ugly, yellow, no good Easter off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
So as I was saying, you got 15 seconds to record audio, or you can let it record from something else. So that's a cool feature, and you can rename them, so you can have quite a few of them and you can cycle through them as well. It is very windy here today, and I just wanted to show the stability of this camera. As you can see, it is wobbling a little bit. You can see as you touch it, it does wobble, and it's because there's a bit of play over here in the joint that joins it. So you can see it's moving over there, so that could be improved where it does sort of wobble a little bit, as you can see over here, but it still works very well, no issues, detecting nicely. But I just wanted to point that out as well. The phone alerts are really good. As you can see here, I've got some screenshots where the middle shows the alert coming in, and on the right it shows the filtering of those messages coming in, so you can view those. It's really good, it comes through all the time. Looking at video quality, we can see nighttime in the top left, daytime in the bottom right, and then morning in the crisscross bottom left, top right. Very clear, I'm happy with that. Motion detection and pet detection, you can see here with LEDs coming on at about 10 o'clock at night. Also very clear, the image is very good. This is the ball camera that's recording, so you can see the wide angle view. And then the next scene, you'll see the same angle, but with no LEDs on. So that's with no LEDs in the night vision with a bit of wind. And you can see it's very clear. The quality of the camera is very clear, and the bullet camera is even clearer when you zoom in as well. So we'll see that over here. You can see on the left is the normal camera, and on the right you can see it's much more clearer and darker. And also the letters change color when the lights in the background change, so you can still see what they're saying, so that's cool.
Nice.
So it's raining now. See the camera in the rain, all wet.
Do not attempt to grow a brain.
Still working, picking me up, doing the other
Do
customized
not
send,
attempt to grow a brain.
the other sound. So yeah, it's all good. The rain really got heavy then. As you can see, I'm from inside, and you can see how heavy the rain is. And then I zoom in quite close, you can see the rain hitting the camera. I zoom in further, you can see how wet that camera is, and it's still working just fine. Everything's working fine. And the next scene you see here is the camera view of what's going on. So the ball camera is in the bottom right, and it still looks quite clear, but you can see the bullet cam in the background, how much rain is actually coming down. So it's actually quite a clear view of what's going on compared to what you saw in the previous scene with me filming from inside out. And then again, I just carried on filming and then swapped the views around so you can see what the bullet cam looks like and that. But overall, the camera works really well. The sound of the speaker is good. The customization is really good. There's so many options, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the sounds a lot, which sort of change every now and then, and the kids seem to enjoy that too.
This is 4 meters.
for me to sound test. 8 meters away. This morning is currently -1, so the camera is working great. You can see there's frost on the floor. That's the view there. And then what I wanted to show you is this dual cam view. So there you can see the top bullet cam with the dot and where it's aiming, and that's where it's aiming on the bird feeder, as you can see, and that's where the camera is now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap the next area, and then we are going to go to the gate, and then we'll watch the camera move there. So I'll move that dot. So let me get that. So there, I moved it, and the camera is now facing there, and you can see the new view is at the gate. So that's the dual camera working together. Very clever. So let's do that again. Let me just try and see if I can do it with my other hand, and then you can see the camera move at the same time. So let's move it there. Right, let's get it right. Hold on. Okay, there's the camera moving, and there's the scene changing, and you can see it's now facing the hedgehog house. So let's put it back on the bird feeders. That moved there. Bird feeders. Awesome, eh? So my final thoughts on this ZOSI C298 Max. I like it. It's very cool. I've got some pros and cons that I just want to go through. So the things that I do like about the camera is the dual lens. That's really cool. Not many cameras that I've tested have dual lenses. There's also a lot of options and settings, so that's really nice as well. So that gives you a lot of control of the camera. So there's a lot of settings that you can configure and customize and everything like that. And customizing, I really like the voice customization for the messages. That's really cool. You can play around with that and be fun and everything like that. So that's nice. And also for the price, for all the features and the camera with dual lenses and all the settings and everything, that's really good. It's got a good price attached to it. You'll see in the description, I've got a link and everything to it. You can go and look it up and see everything. And also the installation was really easy. So it wasn't difficult. All the plugs, everything's there. You've just got to put a few screws in, and that's it really. The cons, the camera you saw, slight wobble in it, but I'm sure they can fix that in the next version. You know, put in some brackets or something, or some rubber to hold. The app doesn't always respond and save some of the settings. It sometimes gets stuck. It says the settings haven't been saved, and you keep going back and you try and do it and it doesn't work. So you have to close the app down, fully close it, and then go back in, and then it seems to work. So sometimes the app doesn't always work that great. The sound of the camera, as you heard in some of the videos, wasn't great, and that's also, but it is windy and there's a lot of rain that's happened, so maybe it's causing a bit of an issue, but the sound wasn't too great that came through. Also a better manual, so the book that comes with it is really small, and the camera's got so many options and settings, it doesn't really give you a lot of info on each of the different settings, sort of like what I've done in the video. So hopefully my video helps you guys if you are looking on how to set it up. And another thing is, when you're looking at the timeline of the videos, you can't just select one of them to download and view. You have to sort of press record, and then it will record part of the timeline, and then it will save it in the album, and then you can go to the album, open the video, and then you click the SD card and it will save it to your phone album. So there's no bulk save either. If you have multiple videos that you've recorded there, you can't select all of them to save them. You have to do each one. So that's another thing they could maybe look at doing. But overall, the camera is really good. It is a lot of fun with the sound. The dual camera lenses is really good. The zooming in is really good. The quality is really good of the images. And yeah, overall, I did enjoy it. I want to say thank you to ZOSI Tech for sending me this. It was really fun to review and setup and everything. And also thanks for the SD card, which was a 128 gig SD card that they sent. And in the description, both of those links are there. So if you guys want to have a look, everything's over there for you. Thanks again. I'll see you for my next review. Cheers.